Hi, I'm Ekaterina, and I'm happy to present our work about expectation versus reality in users' willingness to delegate to digital assistants that we wrote together with Marcel, Anna, Eva, and Jeremy. By 2024, the number of digital voice assistants, such as Apple's Siri or Google Assistant, in use globally is forecast to exceed 8 billion. These ubiquitous devices offer a great breadth of capabilities. However, users engage with their assistants only for a limited set of basic tasks. Therefore, to understand what drives individuals' motivation or reluctance to use assistance, in this work we focused on the following research questions. What factors define users' willingness to delegate tasks to digital assistants, and how do they relate to each other? To address these questions, we took a number of steps. First, we devised a conceptual model of factors defining users' willingness to delegate. Second, we surveyed almost 3,000 users of digital assistants and then used this data to evaluate our model with structural equation modeling techniques. Finally, we derived implications for the practitioners. Let's have a look at a high-level view of our model. Users interact with the assistants and also have the perception of tasks that they face. Based on their evaluation of these factors, they develop a perception of value of the assistants for each particular task, which in turn results in their willingness to delegate. We modeled a number of specific factors to describe users' perceptions of assistance, of different tasks, of their derived perception of the value of the assistance for these tasks, and the willingness to delegate itself. Having run our analysis pipeline, we established the following relationships between the factors. I invite you to check out specific details in our paper, and now let me just highlight the main findings. First of all, positive attitudes towards digital assistants have very large positive indirect effect on willingness to delegate. On the contrary, higher familiarity with the assistants decreases usefulness and trust in them, in turn reducing willingness to delegate. This implies a mismatch between expectations and actual user experiences. Second, lack of control and transparency reduces users' trust in the digital assistants, especially for subjective and risky tasks. So even if users perceive assistants useful for such tasks, their willingness to delegate decreases because of the loss of trust. Next, users perceive assistants more useful when they struggle to complete the task without help. However, in such situations, their perceived ease of use decreases. So self-efficacy has a reverse effect on usefulness and ease of use. Finally, task frequency increases users' trust in the assistants, but contrary to some beliefs from the automation perspective, it has no relationship with their perceived usefulness. In summary, here is again a recap of implications that practitioners should keep in mind to increase users' acceptance of digital assistants. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you at our poster session for further discussion.